And welcome back to this week's Dallas Big Talk, guys. I'm your host, Lucas Santana, King of Queens. Got my boy, the beer wrangler, Drew.
What it do, y'all? Woo!
That sounded real fucking country. I ain't gonna lie.
Right.
That sounded mad
Welcome
country.
to Texas, baby.
No. And then got the man, the myth, the legend, Ziggy. What's up, man?
Hey, everybody.
Always taking care of us. You know, making sure we're on time.
That's
I
right.
do what I can.
Keeps us punctual. How's everybody's week going? Everybody having a good week so far?
I think wow, that was really weird. That it's like popping sound out of nowhere. All right.
Pop, lock, and drop it.
I found out my one of my new coworkers, she makes cobbler. She doesn't have no crust in it. What she does is she has butter in it, and the butter slowly cooks over it and builds a nice little layer of a crust on top of it. It's kind of different. It sounds interesting.
So you're gonna compromise your values for that?
No, it's not like I never had cobbler before. But I was because she was asking me. It's like, oh, what about the show? Blah blah blah. I was like, oh, we're having a show, but last week we were talking about cobblers versus pies, and I'm like, yo, fuck cobblers. I like pies more.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, damn, I won't make cobbler here for the lab.
I've never heard somebody speak so ill of dessert before.
So she's like, I won't make you my cobbler. Don't worry about it. I was like, no, it's not like I never had it.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't know. I think you've been hurt in the past too many times.
It's not hurt.
Maybe you how you say.
Why it's always gonna be hurt?
There's some dramatic. Well, who doesn't love a good dessert? But I'm saying you know how you say you describe a cobbler as taking a perfectly good pie and throwing it on the floor.
That's what I told her.
Is that what happened to you one time? And you're like, oh, but it looks like cobbler, and you're forever like scarred.
Yes. Like, you love this pie? You want this peach pie? On the ground.
Oh man.
Eat it off the ground.
She's like, well, we can salvage this, and you give it to you. Just put some ice cream on top.
That's what happened. Warmed it up
go.
again.
It's good to
No,
go.
so that's how I
Is
described
that pie TSD?
it. Is.
Very nice.
It is.
That is awesome.
No, that's how I described it. She's like, it makes sense. It makes sense when you describe it like that. But that's not how I make my cobbler. And she's like, there's no crust in my cobbler. I'm like, interesting.
Well, I don't trust your cobbler. Sorry. I'll still try some, though. I'll be the bigger man, and I'll try some.
I mean, go ahead.
I don't know. So we'll just go on a little bit of a different topic. We did have, May the 4th came up.
Yeah.
So we had the little event. So Victor ended up going to the Louisville location for Taps and Caps to go hang out with Courtney. And so supported her out there when they had their release of the Fly Me Away IPA.
Was delicious.
It's really good. Like, it really is. Like, I'm not just bullshitting. I was sitting there drinking it, and because we had it in the can, but when you get it like fresh from the tap, it's like, man, it was really good.
It's different.
And I ended up going to the Fort Worth location that's kind of close to where I live. So me and the family went over there, and they had those cool little stemless glasses, like little almost like stemless wine goblets that have like the little AT-AT made out of like a keg and stuff from Star Wars. So it was real cool.
Oh, that's badass.
Yeah, that's what the cups we got. That's what I'm saying.
Oh.
Yeah, you know how they had the little walkers?
I thought it was like a stand. I thought you were saying it was a stand. My bad.
Yeah.
No, the glasses we got. Oh, I forgot the glasses at the house.
Very cool.
That's my bad.
But yeah. So that was a fun event. I was talking to the other Coop rep that was out there. He said he takes care of this side of the
For where she does Dallas.
Yeah. So I was like, that's cool. So I was talking to him for a minute. And great beers.
The Fly Me was good. It was a bunch of, and I'm not saying that just because we're friends with Courtney. It's just a good beer. And then I met this older couple that like stouts like I like stouts, hate IPAs like I hate IPAs. I told them this is IPA that's sweeter. You know, it doesn't have a lot of hops to it. Don't have that weird bitterness aftertaste to it.
Yeah.
They tried it. They liked it. Now, I don't know if they blown the smoke up my ass and Courtney's ass, but, I take them at their word because they had the same visual hate for IPAs like I did. So, it's a good beer, man. That was really good. And it was a fun event. Courtney did her thing.
Yep.
I would imagine the guy did his thing, too.
Yeah, his is cool. I saw her set up for the way she had it all like lined up, and
Her game.
she's got the goods. She sets up her little booths real cool. So I think she may have had one up on him, but all around it's good.
Also, her birthday was Tuesday,
Yeah.
a Monday.
I don't know, but I saw the cake she got. Man, that cake. Did you see it?
Yeah,
It was like a fucking
a tier, like
an
several.
eight layer cake or something.
It was like this
Man,
big.
I've never had that many layers in my life. of
Now I don't
cake.
know who built that, who if she got that or someone like bought that. Like that
I
was.
think it was homemade. I don't know. The
I
icing
don't
was
know.
pretty dope.
It was dope. It was
Yeah.
nice. She tried that. I got her. What I want to do for now, I'll talk about it later. But next week episode, we're not gonna drink beers. We're gonna drink whiskey. We're gonna drink my favorite whiskey, called Bird Dog.
Mm-hmm.
They have a barrel aged one that's cheap and delicious at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
A hard combination to find.
I'm gonna bring some filtered Sky vodka, and no,
And some filtered Everclear.
we should try. We need to try that on one of the shows.
We could do it, man.
Filters cheap versus, and we'll do a blind taste test. We'll have the filtered. We'll get him to pour them out and put them in glasses.
hmm
I think we're big fans of blind taste testing.
I think
after
we are. We
everything.
like to spoil it. Thanks
What
to
was blind
Jacob
taste test?
and
So-
Valerie.
Yeah, no, it's a good.
That's my daughter's name.
That's
Come on, man, you got this. I'm gonna give you another chance. Starts with an A.
Andrea and Anastasia.
No, whoa, we were hot and you went cold. Adriana.
Adriana.
Yeah. So
Sorry.
Jacob and Adriana, big friends of our show. I thought they're my friends, apparently not his friends.
Good, wonderful people.
Wonderful.
If
Love 'em.
only we could remember your names.
It's really nothing personal. He just. I thought I was bad with names, but
I can't even.
There
Like, I
are
can't
people
even
that are
breathe.
worse
I'm
than
so
me.
red.
oh, you look better in the camera shot than you do in real life. That makes you feel any better. Anyways, but talking about all those beers get me a little thirsty. We have a couple of beers for the show today. So we've got a raspberry Berliner Weiss, and then we also have a porter from Clown Shoes.
The number one beer on the show. They've been on the show more weeks than any other brewery here. So
I say we'll save the Clown Shoes for a little dessert. if you
yeah,
will.
I want the dessert. I want
Yeah.
I want this sweet one. Drew asked me what beers I wanted for the show. Look at that beautiful man right there.
There he is.
If I want
rolling
any particular beers for the show, I said something sweet. We haven't done something like really sweet beer. We had an attempt from last week from Buffalo Bayou.
that provoked the pie versus cobbler debate.
The talk, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're gonna try this.
So yeah, this is a Berliner Weiss. So it's basically a wheat beer. I think this one said it's a little bit more sour.
Can you tell me what is going on here?
What are we working with?
Yes, the Raspberry Jam was initially developed at our brew pub, the Tallgrass Tap House. It became an instant hit, and we decided it should go on tour as part of the Tallgrass lineup. Its crisp, natural tartness is balanced by the addition of raspberries, creating a sour wheat ale that's light-bodied and refreshing. It's a 4.3 ABV.
Hey, not bad. It's a typical beer.
This is-
ABV.
so
I mean, you'd think though that with a name like Raspberry Jam, it would be a Dunkelweissen, right?
I don't know. That's a good question.
It's not bad.
So Berliner Weisses are typically more of like what I would think of like a summer beer. So we're getting a little bit warmer temperature. I've been dealing with AC issues left and right everywhere I turn.
Bro, we gotta talk
Something's
about
going on
that.
there. But yeah. But this is a brewery that I've never tried before.
So brand new to the show then.
So Tallgrass Brewing Company.
Where are they from?
And
Tallgrass, Manhattan, Kansas.
Kansas. Interesting. So
What is with
The
everybody
Little
stealing-
Apple.
The Little Apple?
That's actually one of their city nicknames is the Little Apple.
Why they stealing my shit though?
he owns Manhattan.
No, I'm just saying you got Buffalo Bayou stealing Buffalo's name.
I think it's the actual animal. I think
Mm.
No.
No.
Have you ever been actually physically in the city of Buffalo?
Yes. No.
Ooh, that's good. So, all right. So this is I definitely taste the raspberry.
I
You
love the
definitely do.
smell to it.
It's got a good smell. It's
not that sour.
It's a little tart, but it's not like
Not
not like really pucker, kind of like make you cringe sour. But it's got like a real raspberry taste in the front end, a little bit of sour notes, and then it kind of has like a wheaty bread finish sort of taste to it.
Okay, I can see that. I was just thinking that it just finished off. So compared to the finish to the sour in the middle, so you definitely get the raspberry that hits you. You smell it. It hits you up front which is not a bad thing. I love raspberries. Then you got the nice little tartness to it. Not too much. It doesn't linger. It doesn't
a little
freaking hit
sweet,
you.
too.
It just hits and it finishes off. Like just plain like levels out at the end. And I thought that was really good. That's a good thing.
So try it again, guys. Tell me, I get at the end, whenever like kind of the ending taste is kind of, it reminds me of cornflakes.
Cornflakes, like
Try
dry
it.
cornflakes.
Like, you know, like the cereal, just regular.
like dry-
regular
dry
cornflake. Yeah.
Now you say it, I can see it, but I would never pick that up.
Kind of like bread sort of cornflakes, what I'm kind of getting. I don't know. I'm trying to find a way to relate that. But that's,
You know what raspberry and cornflakes is, right?
toast.
It's essentially a raspberry cobbler.
Basically, we could I think all
In a
roads lead
glass.
back to cobbler. So this is here. We got him to say he likes cobbler.
No, I never said. I said, here's the thing. I've never said I never tried it, and B, that I hate it. I'm just saying, compared to a pie, the pie is the superior dessert
It's a whole nother beast.
than a cobbler. What cobbler is the shitty version of a pie. That's what I said. It doesn't mean it's disgusting. It's just the ugly redheaded stepchild of a pie.
I said I would offer him a piece of cobbler. He would take it and throw it right in the trash because he hates cobbler.
If I had a pie next to me, I would keep the pie. I'm like, here's your decision of desserts today, sir. You have peach pie, peach cobbler. Get that fucking cobbler out of here.
See that?
I'll take the pie.
Look at this. This is rage, man. Who hurt you? Who hurt you?
The cobbler did.
The cobbler hurt me. But yeah, this beer is good.
The Adam Sandler movie.
All of them.
All of them.
In the last 10 years.
Man, yeah.
You watch that new one?
Click's good.
Click was in 10 years, last 10 years?
The Click was 05, I believe.
Yeah, 05. And then the last one he did I really liked was
Time flies. Jesus.
Drunk Punch Love or whatever that was.
Punch Drunk Love. That was in 02, I believe.
Okay. So, yeah, that's a good movie there, too.
Drunk Punch loves what happened at Friday night at the club.
It definitely happens there almost every Friday at the club somewhere.
Yeah.
Good beer. This is a delicious beer, man. I'm sorry we segued a long segue around to this being. For a sour. I don't like sours.
No, it's not really technically a sour. It's a Berliner Weiss, but
I don't know what that is either.
I'm trying to figure out a way how I would describe Berliner Weiss. It's kind of like a lighter wheat beer.
So I guess that's a good question. So Berliner Weiss is not normally traditionally this sour. That's more from the raspberries that they're adding to it, right?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, it's typically you get some Leinenkugel's got some that are pretty popular that are Berliner Weiss as well. But yeah, it's typically not the sour. The ones that I've tried. So
It's delicious, man.
it's good, really good.
I pulled this. This is definitely a poolside beer.
Definitely, I would definitely also probably rate this as a poolside beer. As
And
well.
look at our rating pictures. Hey, poolside.
That's two poolsides we're going with today. So back to this whole AC topic that's been going on. We
Yeah, fuck
just
you
going-
and fuck your life right
just
now.
going through everything. So luckily, I think it's been a relatively cool transition to the kind of the hot weather that we're starting to get now here in Texas.
Definitely.
So we had the AC off for the longest time, and then we went to go turn it on pretty recently, like last week, and nothing was working. Like it wouldn't blow
Wouldn't
any
kick
air.
on, but it would kick on.
The basically the fan wasn't spinning outside. Essentially, is what we were getting. So we're like, So we called somebody to come over and look at it. This real cool guy that does our AC work, and yeah, ended up just needing like a new motor, and he only charges $260. Pretty good steal. So got that shit fixed. It's working great. I can sleep in peace. I don't know how you guys are. I mean, I'm naturally like hot natured in general. I can't sleep if it's hot. Like there's only so much you can like kick off all the blankets and sleep just in your boxers or something. You can't. I can't sleep. I wake up.
No one can sleep when it's hot. When you're hot and uncomfortable,
Mm-hmm.
by any means, you're not going to be able to sleep comfortably or get a full night's rest. That's for anybody. But typically, I don't get too hot. As I gotten bigger, I've definitely noticed.
Sexier.
I definitely noticed. Thank you. I definitely noticed that I do have the air colder than I typically do. But I need a fan on high, so I don't need the air. I'm good.
Yeah, I like it cold. I mean, I like it. I keep mine around.
But
like-
also, you have your daughter with you. I don't know if she still sleeps with you in the room, and you have
Yeah.
your wife. So you have other body heats going. It's just me on my bed. This is me
Samantha.
all by myself.
Samantha. Don't forget Samantha.
Samantha.
All by
I was thinking that in my head.
myself.
I don't want to be all by myself.
So that was
anymore.
one aspect was the house AC. Got that stuff fixed.
I'm glad that's you. The number one. Number one.
Well, I've been dealing with a little bit. My coolant was real low a while back, and I was having issues.
Oh,
where
yeah,
it
we
was
talked about that, yeah,
it was
yeah.
heating up, and I was like, "Why is it heating up?" And the coolant was low, so I added more coolant to it, and it's been pretty good. And then recently, when I was driving to work, and just the temperature gauge was just going up super high. Turns out I have I think a leaking radiator. So there's a little bolt or something that was just randomly down and right behind my radiator, got pushed into it. So there's a little hole and creating a leak of the coolant. Friggin', I went to work, told you I filled up my coolant up to the proper level. Went inside to work, came back out. It was completely empty. It had all drained out right there in the parking garage. So yeah, so that's the next thing. I gotta probably end up buying a new radiator. Put that in.
That was happening with my AC. I had a AC leak, and the fluids were leaking out. That which jammed up my AC compressor.
Oh, that sucks.
So I changed that out. But I went to a place that would not be named. It's like Fire Red Pokemon, and then it has a stone next to it too. So
Pet Boys.
Pet Boys, definitely went to Pet Boys, and they were like $1,800.
Just breaks?
Just Breaks, I went to Just Breaks too. They checked, they're like, yeah, about $1,400. But this Pokemon Red place was talking about like $1,800 for the whole thing to get fixed. I'm like, all right, cool. I went to AutoZone. I was like, how much for just the AC compressor? 'Cause I think that everybody thinks it's just that. They're like, $300. Fine, let's get that plus warranty. I went to my people's and I was like, yo, I got a compressor. I just need that changed. And they were like, yo, might need all this changed out. But it's like, okay, you said we might. We don't know that. How much if you just take out the old compressor, put the new compressor in? They're like $100. I'm like, done. Do it. AC works just fine.
Look at that. How much is it? 1,800 for the first quote
400. It was like 400 some change plus I left the tip. So let's go 500 total.
from Fire Pebble. I mean,
Firestone.
oh, that's what they call. Shit, damn it.
Flame boulder.
Flame boulder.
Flamethrower.
Yeah. So yeah, people try to screw you over, man. Luckily for me, my brother-in-law is real knowledgeable with cars. And
that's what's up.
So he's a big help. So big shout out to my boy Freddie. Love you, buddy. My
Freddie.
bros for life.
Freddie.
Kruger? So, but yeah, so that's my
Man.
adventures now. So rocking
See-
in the wifey's car right now.
I really, I'm glad you guys worked that in your life. I used to have people like that. It was really good with cars. They're mostly with thieves, but they knew working on cars. They knew how to break into because they worked on them.
Yeah.
But I don't have people like that anymore, and I am not handy whatsoever when it comes to like construction. I'm handy other things, sir.
He's handsy. Especially
I am
when you do
handsy.
a couple of these raspberry jams.
Ladies.
I am handy, but I'm just not good at shit like that. I'm not good at construction. I'm not good at like knowing about cars. I don't know shit about cars. Put me in front of a car and say fix it. I'm like, fuck it, buy a new car.
Buy a new car.
That's my only. That's my
Trade
only
decision.
option.
I'm glad that you added something on the end of that sentiment and you didn't just say fix it or fuck it.
Well, someone did get it. You get that article going fucking his tailpipe?
Yeah, I heard about that.
I thought that was just an Adam Sandler movie. Literally.
Oh yeah, no, I know what you're talking about.
There's
I saw that.
like-
I heard about that.
Yeah, there's like it's a real fetish. That
I didn't
people
realize that was a
have.
real thing. I thought it was just a bit. I thought it was just a bit.
Nope, it's real.
It's a
If
real.
only it was just a bit.
They-
No, the world is a sad and terrible place.
Yeah, they gave that card just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But no, it happens. So
Oh my God! Did you guys see the video of that guy using a 50 cal rifle to shoot a deer and missed, but the deer still died?
what?
Yeah, so that's one of the things of how like a bullet of that caliber works is
Is there shrapnel that comes off the side?
No,
the
it's-
sound, the shockwave.
it's just the actual force of the air around it. It can travel so fast that it actually has a shockwave, and the shockwave itself can cause damage.
Damn.
And the guy took a video of this. It's insane. The guy shot it, missed it. Wasn't even close.
He did it on purpose. He missed.
He was trying to shoot it. No, he was trying to kill it. So it wasn't like he was off by a mile, but he was like he missed the head wide. And then the deer, you can see the deer react, then die.
Hey, that's like a perfect. Not that I'm like into killing stuff, but I'm saying like if you're worried about like, like not like like messing up any meat or anything, it's all just
It's all
stay
clean.
clean.
It's all clean.
Yeah.
No, that's insane though. He gets up to the deer and you see the brain oozing out of it.
Oof.
Like that's insane. That the pressure and the shockwave of it could do so much damage.
It's wild.
And you ever watch those movies? People getting like 50 cal shot around them. They keep running by. Fuck out of here, Hollywood.
Yeah, Hollywood.
Get the fuck out of here.
Fake news.
Fake news.
Mm-hmm. Fake news.
Segue.
We do have one more beer left on the chopping block for today.
And one of the number one breweries here on the show, just by volume of beers we've drank by them, and great artwork, is Clown Shoes.
Beer boys at Clown Shoes.
Oh, it's an Imperial Stout. Hell yeah. I'm in love. What we got going on here, Ziggy?
The Breakfast Beast from Clown Shoes is a blend of Blakehorn Unidragon Russian Imperial Stout, Undead Party Crasher Imperial Stout, and an experimental new stout that was aged in bourbon barrels. In addition, cold brewed coffee sourced from Barrington Coffee Roasting Company in Lee, Massachusetts, was added to the beer before being bottled. It's got a 10.5 ABV and no IBU rating.
That's fine. That's fine. Experimental stout. It's interesting to have that rated that way, but or have that mentioned there. That's interesting. I wonder what it is. But you know, can't go wrong with Clown Shoes. They make phenomenal stouts, and I'm interested in trying this right here. But I wonder what the cold brew would do with it. We haven't tried it yet, but I'm interested about the cold brew too. It's a cold brew coffee, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
From Barrington Coffee Roasting Company in Lee, Massachusetts.
So
Don't mention Massachusetts. You don't have to mention them.
So the ones that it's mixed with, we've had all of those except for the experimental brew on the show.
Yep. That's why I'm excited about the Russian. Like, I just took a little sip of it. It's delicious, but I need to get
You
another
can
one.
smell it.
It smells great.
Smell it in your sweater.
It smells hearty.
It does. It smells like I could drink this for breakfast, and I may on the weekend.
It
Tomorrow.
just from the smell. I think we might need a new category. Cabin beer. Like in the dead of winter, something that's really going to warm you
Real
up.
hearty.
Yeah, I mean, as far as like being like this, describing it like that, we don't have a rating for that, but it's definitely.
Something to think about for sure.
It's definitely
It's real like a real
heavy beer. Yeah.
kind of like a
It sticks to your ribs.
But it's delicious. By
Yeah.
all means, it's delicious.
it's kind of like velvety-ness to it.
My man's been reading some how to describe beers.
On the mouth feels a little velvety. No, just for real, it's got like a thickness to it. It's not like a real like you can get some of those beers that are, for instance, the one we just had like a real kind of like thinness to it, real light and kind of thin. This has more of like a syrupy thickness to it.
syrup is too much, but definitely heavy, like a milkshake kind of
I
thing.
think on the heavier side.
It drinks very smoothly, but it sticks to you. And the coffee is there, but it's not very overpowering. It's more it's used as an undertone, which is something that
I almost forgot
I
about the coffee.
really
yeah.
enjoy. Yeah.
That's why maybe I'm liking it more than maybe the coffee notes to it, but it's you definitely don't taste it by any means.
The artwork on here is really cool. I don't know if this is one of the other artists that does this one, but
It's
I
probably
don't
the new
see
guy
any-
that we try to get on the show.
Okay, I don't see any of the actual clown shoes on there, but
Oh, that's part of the thing, right? There's always
Yeah.
a clown shoe on here, right?
yeah, but that one's real cool. It's
It's a unicorn holding a coffee
unicorn
cup.
dragon.
Oh, it's clown shoes right on his emblem in the chest.
Okay,
I was like, there's always clown shoes on here, sir.
that's true. That's the Blakehorn unicorn.
Unicorn. No, it's legit. You know, it's legit. You know?
This is good. This is good. I don't know if this is my favorite one that I've had from them, but this is really good. I do like the blend on it, and I'm a more sucker for coffee, so I knew that.
I
that
do
was what I
like
was
their
gonna go
Russian
with.
Imperial Stout more, I think,
Yeah.
from my memory. But it's always hard to go off of memory with things like this. But this is a fucking delishable.
Delishable. That
Yeah,
should be the new rating.
delishable.
Delishable.
This one's delicious. No, it's delicious beer. I think the blend of it works really well. Definitely is on the heavy side. You said velvety on the mouthfeel. Ziggy was right when it says it sticks to you. I was thinking more milkshake. It's like a milkshake, not a stick to drink it, but it's heavy. It feels heavy on you. And I don't know how else to describe it for me, but it's fucking good, man. This is definitely something I would love to sip on.
And it's not super carbonated. Like it drinks almost sort of like milky. Yeah. Kind
Yeah.
of like it's got some carbonation when you pour it, but and a little bit of like the head and the foam, but it dies out real quick, and the actual beer itself doesn't like it's not super carbonated, and I kind of appreciate that.
I like this is a good beer, man. It's a good beer. I'm gonna put this for me. I'm gonna put it. It's not on the level as phenomenal, and I don't want to mislead by saying crushable because I'm not gonna chug it, but it's definitely something to sip on. It's a chill beer. I put it babysit. I put it a babysit. Yeah.
You put yours a babysit. I think for me, looking at it,
I got the babysit right here.
yeah. For me, I don't know if we ended up doing one for this one, but it is really good. I would say probably a dessert beer. I don't know if we didn't make one for that, but I would say this would be a perfect dessert beer.
We'll have that next week. It'll just be a big picture of a Dutch oven cobbler.
Cobbler, yes. Dessert
Hope
beer.
not. I hope not.
We can like Photoshop like a beer just sitting right in the middle of the cobbler. Dessert beer. But it's really good. Really good.
Definitely.
Really tasty. Always good with Clown Shoes. They haven't put out anything we haven't enjoyed thus far.
No, not at all. We definitely always hit it out of the box. I think we had at least 9 or 10 of their beers on the show. There's only one that really wasn't liking.
Yep.
But it's like an IPA, which is typical for me. But even the other IPAs, I can't remember which one it was, but we had several of their IPAs. Was good.
Mm-hmm.
Super strong. We didn't even touch on this 10% because you don't even taste it.
I feel like you get like I feel like there is some noticeable alcohol to it, but I feel like it's masked by the kind of the roasty, chocolatey, and coffee notes that kind of come through.
I mean, for me, you feel the warmthness from it, from the alcohol, but it's not like you taste it. I feel the warmth, like I feel the warmth. That's what I'm saying. It sticks to you because you feel the warmth going through your chest, and you feel the warmth going through your stomach. You feel it sitting in there.
Yeah,
but it's not like I don't know. It's good beer, man. Good
tasty.
beer. And then I also want to bring it up. We actually have some of our pictures. We're gonna add dessert to it, dessert beer rating to it. But we have our ratings up, so we're gonna start in no particular order. My favorite one right now is Crushable, is because it's the only visual one we have. That it's
yeah, we can start rolling through them. If we want to roll through them real quick, show like our different ones we've got.
We have Phenomenal.
We got Phenomenal. Let's start with Crushable. Let's go. We got Crushable.
Classic.
So that one. Let's get a little clipsies of that. It's my ex-wife, actually.
Yeah, classic.
Yeah, she's great at parties.
She's always fun to hang out with.
Yeah, so that's Crushable.
Crushable. One we haven't seen yet, On the House.
On the House.
Good one right there. Phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Love that picture. Phenomenal beer. Poolside.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have Sitter.
If you're babysitting a beer, something you want to just sip on.
Mm-hmm. And then we have the last one. Should be Drain Pour. I didn't say that? My bad.
There's one Drain Pour. I think we poured that picture down the drain, so we don't have it with us.
Oh, I probably didn't send it because I felt bad. Like, it's not really good. Isn't that? I don't feel us ever really saying it's a Drain Pour outside of like really bad beers.
We've had some that you would have easily slapped a Drain Pour on. I feel like that was going to get its usage. I think maybe you're growing as a human being and a beer drinker.
I'm not a human being. I am a shitty person.
That's still a human being.
Throughout. No, I probably don't know why. I probably was thinking it was too harsh on rating systems. I'm working on getting guests constantly, but having breaks in between them. But it's more along the lines trying to get things together. Finally got in contact with a few breweries. It's not like they were like I couldn't get in contact with them. I actually made the effort to call them instead of emailing. You know, starting communication that way. You know, versus a blanket email where it's like, oh,
not as
like what does this mean? Yeah, I don't know what this means. Blah blah blah. You know. And I want to thank everybody who's been on the show before, but, you know, working that in, getting more people in constantly. So I probably was thinking about, I've never talked to a brewery, and lucky for us, we never had a brewery come here and their beer was just shit.
Yeah.
It wasn't like that at all. So it was,
yeah, I feel like the Drain Pour definitely would be good to use no matter even the guest, even if it was a Drain Pour. You'd be like, it would be, we would probably divert to On the House for that one.
That's what I probably was thinking. But I got to send that over. I'll probably send that over tonight, and also send that over with, actually, I got to talk to you about dessert beer, which one you want to look at, because we talked about all the other ones.
If we find some cobbler, that'd be great.
Nope.
Nope. So next week we're gonna have DJ Loud back on the show.
DJ Loud's is coming on next week. He's super excited. He has a brand new studio he's working on. I went to go check it out yesterday. It's great, man. It's a great place. What I'm also most impressed about it, the studio is great. It's just that he built it. He didn't build the whole building himself, but he rented out a spot and then
He did a lot of renovations.
A lot of renovations himself on it, which is super impressive to me because you hear people saying they could do things. You hear people saying that what they do, and they're not that good at it. Like equally impressive is like talking to Ziggy and his knowledge about audio and visual equipment and how he makes this stuff work here. You know,
and lovemaking. He's
I heard
Quite accomplished.
well versed.
that's what we heard. We heard he's quite accomplished. That's why he's beating up the girls left and right here in the studio.
With a stick.
Wait, you said beating off on girls left and right? What? That's some Harvey Weinstein stuff.
Yeah, I mean maybe, but they want
Just
it.
playing.
Unlike that, unlike Harvey Weinstein here, they want it. No, so it's super impressive that he did all that. I'm super excited just because he did all that and his excitement's there. He's building he has a party going on this weekend. He has a bunch of studio time launched out. He's not even done building the place fully. Like it's up and ready to run, but he's not. He has more ideas we talked about yesterday.
Yeah.
So can't wait to talk to him next week.
He's a great dude, and it's cool that he's got all that stuff going for him. So we look forward to seeing all the progress that he makes, and
Yeah.
we'll definitely have fun having him back on. He's always a good time.
So always support us. So we're
Yeah.
gonna support him. We're gonna work with him best we can, whatever we can do. And again, he's coming out next week to not only support us, but we're here to support him. And
Promote his cool stuff he got going on. So Ziggy, you have a recommendation I heard this week.
I do, guys. I do. So I was Yes, it's Rat God by Richard Corbin. I'm a big Richard Corbin fan. He's a comics writer and artist, and he's a very specific, richly detailed, linear, lush art style.
Mm-hmm.
And he mostly does. He cut his bones doing fantasy and horror comics, indie comics in the 70s and 80s. And he's slowly gotten more play in the mainstream comic scene. And so this is one of his more mainstream collected works. And the whole reason I'm recommending this is I read this a while back, but there's a new anime, or an anime that Pete has got me watching, and I don't want to name it yet because it's probably going to be a future recommendation, but it has similar themes to this of this outsider coming to a small town and realizing that things aren't what they seem. And I'm a big, we probably have talked about this on the show before, I'm a big Lovecraft fan. Like H.P. Lovecraft.
Yeah.
And I'm a big Lovecraft fan, and this is just this weird Lovecraftian horror story that's very reminiscent of Shadow over Innsmouth and the weirder jungly parts of Call of Cthulhu. And I'm just a big fan of that kind of aesthetic, and this comic does what I find very hard to do, and that's take these weird otherworldly concepts that work well on paper and visualize them, because it's very hard to visualize something when the horror of it is supposed to be that it's unknowable. And so I think this does a really good job of weaving some of those themes in with also the themes of otherworldliness and hidden knowledge and cult-like groups. And it's very dark, and it's not really a happy ending, but it is amazing. I'm a big fan of his work in general, and I think that this is a great place to start if you're interested in the work of Richard Corbin.
Nice.
So that's Rat God.
So thank you for the recommendation, man.
Yeah, thank you.
For sure. And if you want more Richard Corbin stuff, he just wrapped recently his first solo series by a mainstream comics press. I believe it's his first solo series by a mainstream press. It's Shadows on the Grave, and it's kind of his take on Tales from the Crypt. And so the individual issues are all out. There's 12 of them, and they just released the first trade paperback of the collected editions.
Very nice.
So pick that up too.
Gotta check that out. You know what I thought about you the other day? They didn't renew another season of Ash versus the Dead or Evil.
They did not. They did not renew Ash vs. Evil Dead for a season 4, and Bruce Campbell has come out and said that he is retired from playing Ash. So if they do come back and move the series to Netflix, he will not be returning with it. When I heard that, when I read that, I no shit almost cried. I was in the middle of running a show here, and I read that and almost started bawling. I was pretty affected.
I'm sorry.
I read that and I initially thought about you. I was like, man, Ziggy loves this show, and I've been starting to get into it. I finally finished the second season myself.
Pretty good.
If you like horror and if you're into, I don't know if you've watched Evil Dead yourself.
Yeah.
The second one is really more jokey,
Campy.
It's good. Yeah, campy horror, and that's what the series does. It follows all the campy horror tropes, and especially in the first season, it runs with it, and it's really entertaining if you like horror tropes and horror movies and stuff like that. So,
Well, real quick before we only have a little bit of time left. Did you guys see Infinity War yet? I got to see it pretty recently, and I want to know y'all's.
We talked about it last week.
Y'all's take on it. Did we talk about it last week?
I've not seen it.
You haven't seen it?
We all loved it. I mean, you loved it.
Just a spoiler: everyone lives.
Batman dies.
Yeah, Batman died.
But what about Cyborg?
Well,
He died too.
saving Flash. So
The greatest Justice League hero.
Yep.
No, I loved it. I loved it a lot. I thought it was fun. I thought it was an interesting take on the comic book, Infinity Gauntlet, and
a little bit different, but it was
a good take on it. Their take of the Marvel universe, cinematic universe take on it. Yeah,
it makes more sense like in the actual story. Like it makes more sense.
But you have all the superheroes and why he's doing it, because
Why he's doing it as well.
Thanos here is doing it for his balance kind of theory. He has his own balance theory. He says there's not enough resources in the universe for everybody, so he's gonna make balance to it. I get it. I like this Thanos more than I like the comic book Thanos.
Yeah, he has more of actual like feel to him. He's just not like a.
Because you have read the comic books
Yeah.
on this one?
Yeah.
So he's in love with the comic books. He's in love with Mistress Death.
Yeah. She's
And
like
he wants to. He's like fascinated by it.
and he's trying to like impress her.
Yeah. So he go.
But this one, he's trying to do it for a utilitarian kind of purpose. So, interesting. Go see it if you haven't seen it yet. It was pretty good. I'm looking forward to see how they finish it out with the
What's gonna
next
stick
one.
and not gonna stick? Yeah, man, it's interesting. I like it. I like it a lot. It's good. It's good stuff. Tomorrow, if you like horror, Lake Highlands Alamo Draft House is having a horror showing. Ziggy, I thought about you too, and I forgot to talk to you when I got here. Is they're showing The Exorcist tomorrow, right? But the director of The Exorcist recorded a live exorcism with the Catholic Church, so he's gonna show the original movie, then his filming of an exorcism with the Catholic Church afterwards, and then after that have a Q&A.
Interesting.
So if there's any tickets left, I advise you to get some. I'll be there tomorrow, Friday night, watching Exorcism again because I love horror, and then watch his live taping of an exorcism with the Catholic Church, and then Q&A.
Nice. That'll be cool.
Yeah.
We should record some video clips and we'll put some of that
If they
up.
let me, I'll find out tomorrow because I'm gonna get there early and talk
Press
to them.
pass. Send me part of the press. So
Ziggy, did you know about this?
I knew that he had a new movie out, which is his documentary around filming the exorcism. But I had not heard that he was going to be in town. William Friedkin.
Oh, thank you. I couldn't remember the name. Yeah, so he has his documentary, which he's not premiering with this movie, but he's going to do a little bit of it plus the exorcism part of the documentary.
interesting.
So it's not the full documentary.
Well, that'll be cool. Well, it's been a fun show.
It's been great, man. It was interesting.
Flew by as always.
I mean,
Two good beers today. We had some good
Oh
beers.
yeah, man. It was good. It
Definitely.
was solid.
Yeah.
Good choices. Thank you, sir.
Yep. Teamwork. But thanks again, everybody. Follow us on all the social medias.
Definitely. Facebook, Instagram, SoundCloud. Got it. Our website. Please check it out. Always catch Ziggy every weekend at the Backdoor Comic Club, and also tonight as well, sir. Right. And then he's
be
always most likely hosting the late show, but he's always there. Great comics. Big ups to Pete and big ups to Reg. Great comics there. Always there too. So you're always gonna get a solid show from them. Everybody have a safe weekend. Love you guys. Be careful.
And also, as always, hashtag talking under the influence.
Hashtag talk on influence. And I got my Puerto Rican flag in, so it's going in my house.
All right. Later,
And
guys.
Dominican flag. Thank you.
Bye.